Prep Time is brought to you by Merchants Bank, the bank that's service built, and by Winona National Bank, personalized banking. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Prep Time. I'm Justin Barrientos, and I'm here at Maxwell Field at Verizon Wireless Stadium in Winona, which has seen its share of great football moments. But the 2012 football season wasn't a very good time for Winona Senior High quarterback Jeff Schultz. Schultz was injured in Game 2 last season against Rochester John Marshall when he broke his arm. Yes, the Winhawks had a .500 season, and yes, the Winhawks won a playoff game, but for Schultz, he had to watch all of that on the sidelines. But he's ready to go this year and was especially ready for that rematch against Rochester John Marshall this year.
Week 2 against JM, early in the game, it was a kind of a broken play. He scrambled out to the left to make some positive yards, and he just kind of landed funny on that arm.
And my arm landed on the ball, and my elbow was on the ground, and I got a helmet and a knee through there and broke both bones. So I ended up in the hospital getting 2 plates, 11 screws, and 150 stitches. When it happened, I wanted to play the rest of the game, but I knew I couldn't. So I knew it was broken, but they wouldn't tell me. So it was kind of emotional. I had to see all my team on the ground and stuff, and I had to walk off. But I just had to look forward, the next coming year, coming back. So I had to miss the whole season, but it was about 8 or 9 weeks when I fully got rotation and stuff, and I was back for basketball season.
I think there's that shock. You lose your starting quarterback, and it's kind of like, okay, now what are we going to do? I think they all had confidence in Hunter as well, but you still lose a key player, and it takes a while for them to kind of regain that focus, and it kind of carried over even the following week for us. There was a lack of kind of vision and where we were going, and with a change of a different person under center.
We had actually a slow start last year. We lost basically the first 4 games, I think. It wasn't too good, but I guess we just kind of pulled it together. And Jeff was on the sideline cheering us on and helping us, and we ended up 5-5, which was nice.
It's definitely important. I show them that I still cared about them and stuff. I'm still as big as part of the team as I was before. I'm just from the sideline, so I can pick up on things and point things out to them that they wouldn't see normally. So I thought I could help a little bit from there more than I was on the field.
It sucks when people go down. Jeff especially, because he's the starting quarterback, but we just kind of got to pick it up and keep moving. We can't let someone bring us down, but he's back this year and he's coming back strong too.
Schultz talks about Game 1 of the 2013 football season against Rochester John Marshall.
I'm going to come out 100%. I'm not going to hold back at all. It was tragic that I got to miss last year, but I also learned a lot from being on the sideline and stuff, and got to pick up on a lot of things that I wouldn't have.
I think we'll see a lot of what we saw at the beginning of the year before he got hurt. He's a good athlete. He's going to make plays. He's going to step into his throws and do some nice things there. So I think we'll see him kind of taking over and leading those guys out there on that side of the ball.
I expect better things, better reads and stuff, because I could kind of see what defenses were doing from the sidelines, and and looking at receivers and what they can do, and looking at cornerbacks from other teams, picking up on those little things.
He just seems really excited. He's doing really well, a lot better than I've ever seen him play before. It looks like he's going to come back and have a great season.
How much input does Schultz have in calling plays for the Winhawk offense?
Well, it all depends. There's certain formations that we have where he has checks. There's times that we'll call in, check with you. He's got a couple plays to choose from. So kind of as the season, kind of grows, you kind of expand on that. But early on, if he sees something where we allow him to check, but he also knows where and when he's kind of supposed to stick with what we've got rocking.
As it turned out, Schultz was ready, and he did all he could in Week 1 against John Marshall. He completed 10 of his 22 passes for 157 yards, and he had 2 touchdown passes to his favorite target, Taryn Cross. Schultz also helped out on defense with an interception of his counterpart, Caleb Stangler. The Winhawks, though, could not overcome a 21-point halftime deficit and fell to the Rockets 28-12. Vincent Pham knew that he wouldn't get very many carries in the backfield for Winona Senior High last season. He was mainly a fullback blocking for Eric Berth and Travion Clark. But with Clark and Berth graduated, it's now up to Pham to get most of the yards for Winona Senior High on the ground this season.
I think you're going to see a hard-nosed runner, a Jerome Bettis type running back. He'll get the bulk, but there'll be a lot of times where he might be blocking for somebody as well, so he's going to play a little bit of both.
I did a lot of blocking last year. I played fullback. Lots of cutting, lots of running, score touchdowns, get get a lot of yards for my team.
Yeah, I've been with Vinny Phams actually since 7th grade, and he's always a hard worker, always going 100%, and he's a little tank, you know, he runs up, he's hard to take down, you know, and I'm expecting big things out of him, and I know he can do it this year. And he's a purely muscle, I mean, he's a little tank.
Well, I think anytime a kid's going to be a senior, there's that next step, that sense of urgency, and you've seen that in him. He's matured and developed, and he's ready to show what he's got left in the tank before he graduates.
I think he's definitely a good, strong runner. He can run downhill hard, and he can break tackles, and I think that's going to be a big key part of our offense.
What was there to be learned playing behind Berth and Clark last year?
Our running backs, we had 2 great running backs, and I think he kind of picked up from them on what they did to be good, and he stayed with them in the weight room and stuff and lifted with them and kind of got in shape with them.
I was really happy to play with them actually. It wasn't really anything against them. It felt nice. I learned a lot from both of them that's going to carry on to this season this year.
How has playing the fullback position prepared Pham to play more running back this season?
Definitely a lot of vision. Vision's going to help me a lot. I'm going to know where to go exactly, know what the fullback is doing, and know what the guards are doing and the linemen are doing, and just how I learned how the defense worked basically last year at fullback.
Is Pham ready for the increased workload this year?
It's a big load on me, but I'm super excited though to take care of that. I get nervous every year, no matter what, but I'm going to be ready to do it though. Everyone's goal is state, so as far as we can go.
While we're talking local football, there's one story to watch over at Plainview Elgin Millville High School. Bulldogs senior running back Dean Erke was injured last season, but he can't wait to get back on the field this season, and as you'll hear, he takes his football very seriously.
For me, it's a pretty unique predicament for me. I blew out my knee playing football last year, and it was a multi-ligament case, and I'm still not cleared yet technically, and I'm waiting on that, and I'm really pushing myself and my teammates, and we're really trying to just get back. For me personally, and for me it's really tough because I just found out that I might be missing the first 3 games, and now I want to go out there and support my team as much as I can and really push. To this community, it's something to hold above yourself. It's something to strive to be greater than yourself. It's not just a sport in this community. It's something that we really just try and let open and say, if you want to play football, you're going to have to work at it. And it's not something just granted, it's something you're going to need to work at. And when you get through those years, you're going to look back at it and be like, I was a Bulldog.
And we'll watch to see when he gets back on the field this season. Coming up here on Prep Time, we will catch up and see what happened to a favorite area athlete, Tony Mueller.
Anybody can make your business a victim of fraud. In fact, if your business hasn't been affected by fraud yet, it's only a matter of time. Don't take that chance. Merchants Bank offers fraud detection and prevention solutions that can help protect your business accounts from check and electronic payment fraud. Don't wait until your luck runs out. Get help from Merchants Bank today.
If you're looking for a trusted heating and cooling expert in the Winona area, call River City Heating. Because when homeowners give River City a call and give us a try, they become satisfied customers for life. River City Heating and Bryant, always doing whatever it takes.
Join me, Justin Barrientos, for Prep Time on HBC 25. We'll take a close look at area high school athletes, coaches, administrators, and even go back to explore past athletes and stories that built the history of your favorite prep teams. Stories you won't find anywhere else. You can catch Prep Time at the following times only on HBC 25.
When it's time to repair any brand or buy a new furnace or an air conditioner, call a dealer who will do whatever it takes to keep your family comfortable and save you money all year long.
River City Heating and Bryant, always doing whatever it takes.
My main concerns about banking online was I wasn't sure I had control over it like I did if I did banking actually in a bank. My kids told me that, you know, Mom, you can do this. It makes life a lot easier to be able to do it right at your home without having to even go to the bank. I can just do it wherever I am. I do not consider myself a techie person, but they make it very easy. I did not feel mobile banking was difficult to learn at all. Give it a try. You're going to like it.
We're a small town store. Everything relies on our internet, our pumps, our registers, everything. So we need somebody that is willing to go that extra mile for us. Jill is awesome. She is very personable. When we call them, they react to us as if we are top on their list. And to me, that is number one. I've had excellent service.
Call Jill and find out what excellent business service is like.
If you have a question or comment about this or any other Prep Time show, or you have a story idea that you think that we should cover, you can always email us at preptime@hbci.com. We'd love to hear your comments and your story ideas. And welcome back to Prep Time. La Crosse native and Logan High School graduate Tony Mueller has lived out several dreams. He played baseball for his hometown La Crosse Loggers. He played for a national baseball championship with Winona State University. He was selected in the Major League Baseball draft, and he played 2+ seasons of minor league baseball in the Atlanta Braves organization.
And it was a great opportunity. It was a dream come true for me to get a chance to play a professional sport. I mean, obviously as a younger kid growing up and playing baseball, little league, playing college baseball, one of your things is you want to try to get to the highest level. And I got a chance with the Atlanta Braves. I played 2 years in the minor leagues, 2.5 years in the minor leagues, and it was an honor. I mean, like I said, it's just something, it was a dream come true. Obviously, I would like to go a little farther with it, but you know, it's a business. It happens. You get released, and so I'm just excited about another opportunity here now. Well, you know, I was a little disappointed. I called my just close family members, close friends, sort of told them I got released. I didn't want them to not know, find out in the paper or something like that before it happened, and so I just called them. And you know, I was disappointed. I got a 2-hour drive to the airport that day, and I sort of got to reflect on what's happened. And you know, at the time I was thinking about football a little bit too, so I think that sort of helped me get through the fact that, you know, I just got released. I was like, it was sort of like an exciting new feeling for me, like thinking about football after getting released, to get my mind off of that. But I mean, like, you know, I was disappointed, but I understand it's a business and not many people get a chance to do it. And you know, I'm just thankful that they gave me a chance, and now I'm here ready to play some football.
When did WSU football coach Tom Sawyer start thinking about adding Tony Mueller to the team?
Well, when he was about a junior in high school, because he was a very good high school football player, and we knew that. And when he came to Winona State, you know, I've known Tony all the way through, and I was a big fan of his when he was playing baseball, and we stayed in contact all the way. We'd kid around with each other along the way. You're going to come, you're going to go to fall ball and mess around, you know. But obviously, he was such a great baseball player that I was really happy when he got drafted. I was a big, like I said, big fan of his.
Out of high school, I really wish that I could have played both out of high school. I mean, I know physically it would be hard on the body. I mean, I would have no time off, and so that's sort of why I shied away from it. But I always told myself, you know, even if I had not got drafted and played 4 years of baseball here for my 5th year, to come out and actually try playing football. And so it's always actually been there. Coach Sawyer and I have talked while I was playing baseball here about, hey, whenever you're done playing baseball, you want to try football, let me know. So it's sort of been something there the whole time I played college baseball or professional baseball, and now I'm here doing it.
You're only in college once. You're only 22 years old once, man. Go for it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But you might as well, you know, live a dream as a young boy coming out to play 2 sports in college and at a high level, which he's a great athlete. So we knew we could teach him the football side of it. When you can run and catch and throw and do all the things that he can do, it's kind of like raw material. You know, he's like a freshman all over again, but his learning curve is so high because, you know, going through not only baseball here at Winona State, but also at the professional level, you learn it or you're gone. And so he comes in, he studies it, he's a student of the game, he wants to be good. So to do that, he knows he has to take the steps to be good, just like he did in baseball. So he's done all that, and he's really put the time and effort in to be a good receiver for us.
Yeah, I did sort of leave in a fact that, like, you know, I left as an undergrad and I was going to play a professional sport, but I'd always come back for the off season and work out up here. But for me to come back now, it's, you know, I'm a little more mature. I know what to expect at college classes and stuff like that, but also I can help guys. I mean, a lot of these 18-year-olds were in 8th grade when I was a freshman here. I mean, they're a lot younger than me. You know, I can help guide them where places are, because honestly, Winona's a great city. When college is in session, it's one of the top cities for being a small little city, and so just help guide those guys around. And you know, I still love it here. I mean, a lot of places that I've been here, same faces on coaching staffs. I mean, just great people in the city of Winona.
It helps some that Mueller's new head coach Tom Sawyer was a 2-sport athlete himself at Winona State.
I wouldn't trade the experience I had playing football and baseball for anything. And you know, I played 3 years of football like he played 3 years of baseball, and so we have some similarities to the time. He's playing at a much higher level, of course, and I hope all of our programs are that much better. But you know, Kyle Polk played 2 sports in college, so a lot of us have at that time. It's a lot harder today with the higher expectations, and now we're Division II sports. But yeah, I just told him to enjoy every minute of it. Go have some fun with the guys, be the best you possibly can, and see what happens.
What are the other intangibles that Mueller brings to the WSU football team?
You know, he talks about his real life experiences and the opportunity they had. We know when a professional athlete starts talking to our guys that are 18, 19 years old and they want to be a pro someday, he talks about how hard it is, talks about the rigors of practice, he talks about the stress that was involved. Sure, the glamour of putting on a professional uniform is one thing, but there's a lot of hard work involved.
You know, I've experienced a lot in my life. I got to play college baseball here. I went and played professional ranks, and now I'm back here. But, you know, I look up to them too. A lot of those guys are helping me. I mean, especially John Teglin, the quarterback, the wide receivers, Alan May, Joshua Mikes, Cam Johnson. Those guys are helping me because honestly, like you said, I've been away from football for 6 years, trying to get back into football shape, knowing the playbook. I mean, that's the type of stuff you need help with, and that's why, I mean, we have a great team. We're all a good group of guys, and we're ready to go.
Yeah, it's definitely been a great addition. He brings a great personality and great work ethic to the squad. Even brings some good leadership, you know, being an older guy to that wide receiver core. So just to bring him in, you know, he's a good playmaker. He adds depth to the roster, and it's been a great addition for us.
The good news for Warrior football fans is that this won't be the only year that Mueller will have to suit up for the Warriors.
I'm probably about a junior and a half academically, so I'll graduate next December. So I was like on the 4.5-year plan when I was here originally, came here for 3, and now I'm finally back in, so I got about a year and a half left. But then as athletically, I'm a junior eligibility-wise, also technically a senior because the way NCAA works, you get 10 semesters to play college sports, and so I played 6 semesters of baseball, and now I have another 4 to play college football, or 4 semesters, so I'll have 2 years to play college football. And, you know, biggest thing for me was I wanted to get my degree was the biggest thing about coming back to Winona. And then 2, just knowing the chance that I had a chance of playing football, and I always wanted to out of high school, but obviously baseball, my brothers played baseball, I sort of followed in their footsteps a little bit, but knowing that I had a chance to, I called Coach Sawyer right away, and we talked, and I mean, he said there was a roster spot for me, and I mean, obviously I'd have to get in shape, football shape, and learn the playbook, but you know, that was something I was willing to look up to the challenge, and you know, now I'm sitting here ready to go 2 days away from our first game.
When asked if baseball is still in his future, Mueller would only say, "We'll see what happens when football is done." Well, coming up here on Prep Time, we'll take a closer look at that Southern Football Alliance that we've been talking about all this offseason as we look again at Cotter's move to the Three Rivers Conference.
My main concerns about banking online was I wasn't sure I had control over it like I did if I did banking actually in a bank. My kids told me that, you know, Mom, you can do this. It makes life a lot easier to be able to do it right at your home without having to even go to the bank. I can just do it wherever I am. I do not consider myself a techie person, but they make it very easy. I did not feel mobile banking was difficult to learn at all. Give it a try. You're gonna like it.
Hi, my name is Joe Glendy and I am HBC. I am the HBC Air Network Engineer located in the Winona office. I spend my free time streaming movies with my girlfriend Janelle, as well as playing online video games. HBC's leading edge internet service has the speed, reliability, and capacity I require for all my online entertainment needs. HBC's LumenNet internet service even offers symmetrical upload and download speeds.
We are HBC.
Anybody can make your business a victim of fraud. In fact, if your business hasn't been affected by fraud yet, it's only a matter of time. Don't take that chance. Merchants Bank offers fraud detection and prevention solutions that can help protect your business accounts from check and electronic payment fraud. Don't wait until your luck runs out. Get help from Merchants Bank today.
Winona Homes was offered a deal from another company.
I switched to another company because they made some promises and I was going to get a better rate, so I switched.
But when she tried their deal, she ran into some issues.
The other company that I was with wasn't local. You couldn't even get somebody to come to your office.
At HBC, customer service is our #1 priority for your business. Let's just say Jenny is a lot happier now.
I have never had such fast customer service.
To see how HBC can help your business, call Melanie at 474-5802.
If you would like a DVD copy of Prep Time or any other production from HBC TV 25, you can give us a call at 474-5811 or email us preptime@hbci.com. For the first time since the 1981-82 school year, Cotter opened up the season under a different conference than the Hiawatha Valley League. The Ramblers switched to the Three Rivers Conference this year.
One of the primary reasons that we did it was for our kids. Like we said, the travel distance for the HVL was a lot greater from where we're located in southeast Minnesota, and it was a great conference, and we love the relationships that we have with the schools there and with the administration there. It's really, really great, but at the end of the day we had to do what was best for our kids, and they frankly were just spending way too much time on the road, which meant less sleep, less time for homework, more time out of the classroom. I believe if you averaged out the mileage for all the schools in both conferences, we're saving ourselves an average about 20 to 25 miles per trip.
Cotter had applied a number of years ago and it didn't work out, and the obvious advantage is distance of travel. Now in cross country we tend to be fairly close anyways, we're in Rochester a lot, and so that won't make a huge difference that way. And but in the other sports, I think it's going to be great. I mean, I'm thinking about spring sports or basketball on a Tuesday night. You're going to Cannon Falls, where instead of Lewiston or St. Charles or Rushford, and I think that for parents and students, that's a huge advantage.
And more than anything, really, I think the travel is going to be a big help for our students. It's tough to get back at 10:30, 11 o'clock on school nights and things like that. It's tough to leave school early. And those things will all be diminished significantly with the move to the Three Rivers. And the more fun, I think, will be the national rivalries that will exist with Lewiston, St. Charles, Wabasha, Rushford. We already have some rivalries with Caledonia, Kingsland in the HVL, in the non-conference games. But now to have them as conference opponents is going to be a lot of fun. But I'm looking forward to coming home from Lewiston and being home for dinner. A basketball game, being home by 9 o'clock. It's just going to be a whole different situation. I think it's a really good move for our school.
St. Charles, that's a great pickup because you're 20 minutes down the road and there's no other team we play that's that close. So that is a great, they double play in their conference, which is not true of Hiawatha Valley. We played everybody once. Some people you may have played twice just as an option. But to know that we'll play St. Charles as an away game is so nice and close.
The fact that our longest trip is an hour and 15 minutes, which I think in our other conference, the HVL, that's average. And so getting our kids home earlier so that they can study and not be gone so far will be a wonderful thing. It'll also be good for our parents too. We do have parents that travel and to our away games, and this will make life a little bit easier for them too. They have to take off less work, things like that. But really we'll be playing schools more of our own size. And just the geographic proximity will really be a plus for us.
For football, it's actually, we're going to the Southern Football Alliance. So when Cotter went to the Three Rivers for all sports, it started kind of a chain reaction where the schools were like, well, we need to look at this football thing. And what they did was they took the HVL and the Three Rivers, they threw them in a big hat, and then they split them up by school size. So there's a red, white, and blue division, the big schools, the medium schools, and the small schools. So it realigned us. For us, it's great. It's great. Our travel's going to be better. We're going to have some more, what I would think were our natural rivalry type games, playing the Lewistons and St. Charles and Dover Yoda, all schools that we drove by for almost every game in the last 2 years. We just drove right by those schools, and now we'll be playing those schools. So we're excited about it. Good football teams. We still play Lourdes and Triton and ZM, and hold on to some of those old rivalries from the HVL. So for us, it's going to be great.
What about the classic rivalries that Cotter had with schools like Rochester, Lourdes, and Lake City?
Well, they're still going to be there. Yep, actually, we open up with Lourdes in football in Game 1, and that's part of a different agreement with the Southern Football Alliance between the two conferences. So it just so happens that Lourdes is they're in the highest division, but there's one crossover game between the highest division and the mid division, and our pick for year 1 was Rochester Lourdes. So we'll still have that. In basketball next January, we're going to run a boys and girls JV varsity doubleheader at Lourdes in their new gym. The following year, we'll come back. So we're definitely going to keep some really good non-conference games with the schools in the HVL.
Yeah, I think you still want to schedule those games, and I think particularly if we're, in basketball, you have enough games where you can keep those rivalries going. Football, obviously, you're pretty much playing conference games. So it depends sport by sport. But as time goes on, rivalries change, and I think that your rivalries are best when you're at a high level, and so those can be redeveloped, and I think we'll get some new ones. And I think geographically being closer, rivalries that's really what drives it most, because it's easier to attend the games for student body and parents.
Oh, no question, and we are trying to keep those rivalries. Lourdes, we will be playing in basketball again, but it'll be a little different. Being a non-conference game, it won't quite have the same to it. It'll still be a fun game and all that, but it won't have conference significance and things like that. So we'll definitely miss that. Zumbrota Mazeppa and softball, we've had a long-standing rivalry with those, and all the schools in the HVL and certain sports. Hayfield and girls basketball, many great games in the Hayfield gym. That we'll definitely miss going there. So it'll be different, but at the same time, when you start something new, it's exciting as well. We'll be brand new in the league, and even though we've played a lot of these teams, it'll be different being a conference game in January, and hopefully vying for some conference championships and developing some new rivalries in our league. And at the same time, in some ways, it's the best of both worlds, because we'll be able to keep our rivalry with Lourdes. And I know we're playing Stewartville and some things, and Lake City, and so we'll keep some of those rivalries as well.
How does Cotter match up with their somewhat new opponents in the Three Rivers Conference?
One of the things with soccer is that the Three Rivers is a smaller conference, so a lot of the schools in the conference don't have teams. For whatever reason, we played most of the Three River teams last year, so we're familiar with them. And I actually thought that our level was more comparable to their level, so in working on the schedule for this year, I asked to do a home and away type of thing with that, with the Three Rivers, so we can fill up our schedule and feel better about ourselves.
We already play everybody in the conference, so they're part of our section, so we see them in playoffs as well. But Cotter as a whole schedules those as our non-conference games, so it's nobody new. The teams we're playing, that's a smaller conference, and I think overall, at least on the girls soccer side, it's an even conference. The teams we play, there'll be 5 of us now, and the teams we play, Caledonia, PEM, Dover, Iota, St. Charles, ourselves, it's going to be an even matched up for grabs.
I really believe in football, you play the game that's on your schedule, and you have to keep getting better from week to week. I don't think it helps us. I don't think it hurts us. We've got to play 8 games against good football teams, and we need to try to win each one at a time, and get better as the year goes on. And then when we get in the playoffs, we'll get a seed, and they'll put us against somebody, and we got to beat them. So it doesn't. To me, it's not really a big difference, and to me, we're still playing some really good teams.
So I've been going to the Three Rivers superintendent meetings all year. Jenny Carpenter has been going to the AD meetings all year. So even though we aren't official members yet, we've been going and participating and trying to get up to speed. They just recently admitted La Crescent to the Three Rivers Conference as well. So that's another person on our side of the state. So that'll be great to have them as well.
We're very excited, and we're just kind of on the wait and see program, and let's see how it really is. But it's really exciting. It's a time of change, and it's I think that close proximity, like you're talking about, even with senior high, it creates, maybe stirs up a little bit more rivalry, but I think that competitive rivalry is also what makes sports so fun.
That's all the prep time that we have for you today. I'm Justin Barrientos. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.